You know what I'm talking about? Every tribe, every nation,
Mm-mm.
every tongue. Okay, let me do every tribe. The reason I'm looking it up is because I want to talk about Disney World.
That was so random. I want to talk about Disney World.
I like Disney World. um,
Oh, Disney World's crazy
yeah,
though.
here it is.
How do people afford it?
Man, I'm telling you
Like,
what,
where do you get your money from?
they're raising the prices of it on
I know.
purpose to keep
Hmm.
the high rollers in there, and people are paying it.
Hmm.
I don't know how people can afford it. It's crazy. Even as a Florida citizen, or Florida, what is it called when you're Florida
Resident. Resident.
resident? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Citizen. Anyway, a resident. Yeah, you get a discount on it. What I was going to talk about at Disney is It's a Small World, the ride. I don't know if
Hmm.
you ever
Yeah, of
remember
course, of course. I used to get that thing stuck in my head after we would
it.
go on it.
Do you know they turned that off? The
Really?
song. It just,
Why?
yeah, they don't play It's a
The
Small
small
World
world
after
after
all. No, I
all.
think people complained or something. It's not I think
I
it has music now, but well, last time we went on it, they were not singing the song anymore. They were
yeah.
just maybe because people
I
adjusted it.
haven't been since Alex and Danny were like 2 and 4. I mean,
Mm.
they were.
Yeah, it's been a while. So yeah, that would be a cool topic to talk about, just how we're all, I mean, there's, when we become Christians, we're not a color anymore. We're not a race anymore. We're Christian, like, and we shouldn't hold back on talking to people because of their
Absolutely.
nationality or the way they look, stuff
Or
like
how
that.
much money they have or
Right.
not have.
Right.
So,
Yeah, because we all belong to the same body. That's so funny because that part of that was in my Bible study that I'm doing right now, the letters to the church, Francis
uh-huh.
Chan.
Okay.
Yeah, how like the world picks leaders and values people based on what they have, what they look like, where they're from, things like that. And like if we belong to Jesus, we all have been given gifts, and
Hmm.
talents, stuff like that and we don't always have to look like a leader. We don't have to be popular, things like
Hmm.
that for God to use us. So it's been really good. It's like the way the church operates here in America is so just not right.
I know.
After you read a book like this, you're just
Oh
like, oh
yeah.
my gosh,
I know.
it's crazy.
That's probably why I've been to so many churches. Like, just, I don't know.
No,
I
it's
feel like it's not the way it should be.
not. And I feel like God's really trying to get us on track right now. Like, hey,
Hmm.
wake up. This is how I want it. What you're
Yeah.
doing is not right.
Yep.
It's very interesting.
And people don't have faith. Like, I feel like the whole business aspect, like,
Yeah.
things are going to work out. Like, you don't have to
Yep.
sell
Yes.
it. You don't have to sell church. Like,
Yeah.
why are you trying to sell me on church,
Yeah. Yeah.
So crazy
Do
that they
you
do
know,
that.
it's so interesting in this book. That's what he compares the American church to, is like a consumer market.
Mhm. That's what
Like,
it feels like. And I
like,
don't like it. It makes me so uncomfortable because I
yeah.
know that's not what God wants. That's,
No. And we were listening to a song, and they were begging God for to move. It's like, we want to see you move. We want to see you move, right? But the type of song, it was like one of those concert type
yeah.
worship songs. And I was telling her, like, these same people, and the reason I say that is because we went to a Hillsong United concert here, and they were selling alcohol at this concert. And I'm not even kidding. They were selling alcohol there. It was
At a
Hillsong.
Christian concert?
Yes. Yes. It was open. And I don't know why. I was like, that's kind of
That's,
crazy. Like, that's
that's
totally
backwards.
kind of
That's weird.
against, yeah. So
That's like
anyway,
Sodom and Gomorrah. How do you say that?
Sodom and Gomorrah.
I still say Sodominga.
Sodom and Gomorrah.
Sodom and Gomorrah.
It's two separate names. Sodom and Gomorrah.
Okay.
Anyway, yes, Sodom and Gomorrah. That's so funny. Just hard names to say sometimes in the Bible.
Yeah.
But anyway, the point is, like, they want all of this miraculous. Holy Spirit moves, but
Not
yet
with
they're
beer.
filling their lives, with things
You
that he
can't
doesn't
do that
like,
while you're drunk. Duh.
right? The Bible says,
I mean, yes, God
don't be
is
drunk.
forgiving, but
Yeah,
you can't really talk to him while you're drunk.
right.
It doesn't
And
work that way.
and I just feel like that is part of what he's trying to do right now is, hey, you want to move, you want me, like you got to get rid of the sin. You can't have me and the sin.
Right.
So
We're
anyway,
not gonna see. We will see things, but if there's like alcohol at a Christian concert,
there's some,
that's all fake.
yeah,
I'm
there's
sorry.
bit off with that. I was kind of disappointed. I feel like if I was, and I'm not saying that
Was
to,
it the Monster, not Monster? Why did I think Monster Jam? Winter Jam? Was it that type of
no,
thing?
no, it was just a tour, like a Christian concert tour.
Wow.
And the thing is, like, there's really good artists in it. And I'm not saying that this is a reflection of them, but the
Right.
fact that if I was going somewhere and I'm a Christian, I would make absolute sure that they're not selling alcohol at my event.
Absolutely. But they probably did that from a business
Yeah,
perspective, like to make money.
right.
You can make so much money, even with Christians, like
Yeah, yeah, of
through
course.
alcohol,
Yes.
for
There's
sure.
a lot of
Which is,
people who do
that's
that.
so bad though.
Yeah. So
I,
that
like,
was kind of
I feel
disappointing.
like Jesus would come in there and like throw all the beer
Right, the
everywhere.
money changer tables, right?
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Like, what?
Yeah,
You
it
can't
was crazy.
worship me while you're drinking. I mean,
Yeah, it's right because it says be filled with the Holy Spirit,
we're
not
supposed to be sober
drunk.
minded. Like, come on
Anyway,
now.
exactly. So, yeah. So anyway, like these, we've got this culture going on that's like, oh, Jesus, give me Jesus in song, right? But then they go home and their actions don't line up with it. And I think
Oh, yeah.
God is trying to get our attention, tell us, hey, I have how I want you to live. It's right there in the Bible. Go read it. And a lot of people
That's
don't.
one thing that I liked about our teacher. Like,
Mhm.
he picked up his Bible and he's like, nobody wants to hear it,
Yeah.
but this
Yeah.
is the way we're supposed to be living. Not anything added to it, not anything taken away from it, word for word. This is how we should be living. This is why we have this Bible. So
Awesome.
I was like, okay, that's cool. And then he said, a lot of pastors sugarcoat things,
Mhm.
and just so they don't lose business,
Yes.
basically.
Yep.
So they don't lose their customers, their, people that pay tithes, which
Yeah.
is insane.
Paying their paycheck, basically.
Exactly. Which
Yeah.
is such crap, because you should be speaking truth. You shouldn't be
Yes.
sugarcoating it. No, it's not okay for you to commit adultery. There's absolutely no excuse
Yeah.
whatsoever. No, you shouldn't be going and getting drunk. No, you shouldn't be smoking pot. You
Mhm.
shouldn't be doing drugs. It's not
Yep.
okay. Yes, God
Right.
will forgive you, but stop doing it.
Yeah. Right.
Like,
Right. There are consequences.
there are, and I've lived through them. So I get it.
Right.
I
Yeah.
know. Like, been there, done that. You cannot live a holy life doing unholy things. It
Yeah.
doesn't work.
Right.
It
God.
just doesn't.
Yeah. Did you
Ugh, I
read
just
my
got like a
post?
heat wave. I'm just
No,
like,
that's good. The Holy Spirit is
my
filling
goodness,
you.
like
No, that's awesome.
people, it drives me nuts. Like,
Yeah. Did you read my post about taking the Lord's Supper or the communion? Did you read that? Where it was talking about to make sure that before you take the Lord's Supper, that you don't take it in an unworthy manner.
yes,
Did you
yeah.
read that?
But
I don't know. It's kind of long. I don't know if you read the whole thing,
I read,
but in it,
but
it
your
was talking
kingdom
about.
thing, right? Your
Huh?
kingdom, is
No,
it?
no, that was different.
Oh, is a post, just a regular
Yeah,
post?
it's a regular post.
I read a bunch of your Kingdom, and I tried to like them through there. Kingdom
Oh
Wins.
yeah,
Kingdom
yeah,
Wins.
yeah.
You posted a lot. You didn't tell me, so I went
Oh,
through.
I yeah, because I sometimes I wait for them to post it themselves,
Yeah.
but sometimes they don't. And so if it's like a really good one, in my opinion, not
You
my opinion,
you had quite a few on there. I
yeah.
scrolled through every one, and I was looking
Oh,
for your name, and then I went on there and like
thank
read. Yeah.
you.
I sat in my
Thank
bed and
you.
did that one day.
Oh,
I
thank
was like, oh
you.
my
Thank
gosh,
you.
she's so awesome.
Oh wow,
You
thank
have
you.
such a gift. It's
Oh, it's
insane.
it's all from God. Like
That,
He
yeah.
will give me these ideas, and it's like that one about the church, the dead thing,
Yeah.
the God of the living. That was like I was writing that, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so like deep and so intense. But it was
It
from the
was.
Lord.
It was. But it was good.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was like, whoa. But anyway, no, this post was about the Lord's Supper and how if we take it in an unworthy manner, meaning we aren't saved or we have unrepented sin, like we're living in sin, like God gives us physical judgment. Like he will make us
Yeah.
sick.
Okay. I remember what you're
Yeah,
talking about.
that
Yeah.
like,
Yep.
and it
And
was
it's true.
in First
Yeah.
Corinthians somewhere.
Yeah.
So, the fact some people will use, oh, God's grace, he'll forgive me. Oh, I can do it. And he loves me anyway. Like he loves you, but he's going to allow you to experience physical consequences for
Yeah.
that. So if that isn't an indication of how he feels about sin, then he'll let you die. It said
Yeah.
it. Like, so anyway, I just can sense that he's wanting to,
Something's going on.
bring
The
his
birds
church back.
alone.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy?
Mm-hmm.
So
Sometimes I
he's
feel
moving.
like I want to do something, but then I'm like, because I'll even have these thoughts in my head,
Like what?
because I know how things are supposed to be.
Yeah.
But then again, I feel like I'm not worthy of that task. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like even just being up there and I had the thought of just starting my own little single women's
Do
Bible
it.
study type of thing, but I don't,
Let's just say
you
God
know,
uses people like you. He does not look at
that's
where you've
true.
been. He doesn't look at what you
But
look
I
like.
do, so
You need to
that's the,
stop.
I know that's the thing that I struggle with is I don't feel like I deserve that. I feel like I'm not good enough for that. Does that make
Well,
sense?
none of us are,
So, but
and
it
that's
is
why
something that I've thought about. I think it would
you
be so
should
cool. I think it
start.
would be, I mean,
And if you didn't do it through the church, I don't know how you feel about doing it at your house. That's where I started doing mine, was at the house, because the
yeah.
church didn't have it, and it was just I couldn't do it at church.
Hmm.
So I did it at home. I invited my friends, my actual friends that didn't go to my church, and it
Hmm.
was the best thing. It was
Yeah,
great.
they
So
don't.
whenever you do make your own, if you wanted to, your own Bible study and invite them in, like God is going to use that way
How
more.
cool would it be to have do that with a fitness spin on
Yeah.
it,
Yeah,
I
do
would
it.
love to work
There
out
are
with these ladies that are scared to go to the gym. I was talking to somebody about that. I used to be scared to go to the gym. It's a
yeah.
scary, overwhelming thing, especially if you're overweight, if you have no self-confidence,
Yeah.
low self-esteem. Man, these are the women that I want to help,
How
Been
big is
there,
your
done that.
how big is your
Huh?
church? How big is your church?
Oh, it's not big at all.
Okay.
Maybe like 300 people, 400 if that.
I was going to tell you this. Beth Moore actually got her start by leading a fitness class at her church.
Really?
Yeah, that's where she started
That just gave
leading
me
people.
chills.
Right? Like
How amazing
literally.
would that be, though? That would just be,
Yeah. Do
oh,
it. I
yeah.
mean, I was going to say, I don't know. Just,
It's future
go
talk.
for
No,
it.
it's something I think about. It's just, and I need to stop thinking and start doing.
Hmm. Yeah.
But I usually will talk myself into doing things, and I just can't wait to get certified. I feel
Yeah.
like
Well,
I'm being
hey,
held back so much by not being
see,
certified right
that
now.
could be both a ministry and practice for you.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
that's awesome. You should do it.
It would be. It would be so cool to do that. Like,
Yeah, do it.
it would,
And
and
you've
it would
got all
help
of
me.
your fitness ladies with you that you can do it with.
I see this woman, she doesn't have a Christian spin on it though, but she
Yeah.
started her own little gym. I
Mhm.
follow her online and I'm just like, that would just be amazing to have my own little space,
Yeah.
like to
One day.
decorate, just like to
Yeah.
make it feel, I don't know. I have all these
Good.
ideas
I
and
mean, yeah, just keep
I would
following
love
it. God's
to,
going to provide.
I just want to help women be confident. It sucks not being confident and not loving yourself and
Yeah.
not loving your body. And then that prevents you from actually being who you're meant to be. And it prevents you from going out and experiencing life. It really
Yeah.
does. Because you're scared to.
Yeah. You're
Been
worried
there.
about what people are thinking instead
That's the
of
stupidest thing we
being
could
it.
do. You know?
Yeah, it
That is
does. It
the
holds us back.
stupidest thing. Because like 95% of the time, they're wrong for starters, but they're not
Yeah.
really thinking about you.
Yeah. Right. And
Like,
what they think
it's
is
all in
different.
your head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And nine times out
It's
of 10, they're not thinking what you're thinking about yourself.
absolutely. Yeah, it's usually your insecurities that
Mhm.
you think people are thinking about you, and they
Right.
don't. It's not even that at all. Like,
Like,
I don't think
yeah.
about stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, we see flaws, but we're not judging you for those flaws. We could care less. Just be a
Yeah.
good person.
Right. And I was thinking that about too, like, because it's hard to go to a new church and introduce yourself and feel like you belong. And it's like when
Right
people
now.
don't like or you know what I mean? Like if they don't talk to you or whatever, in your automatic response to that is there must be something wrong with me, right? The way I look or
That's
whatever.
most people's, not mine. I'm like, oh, okay, well, they didn't want to talk to me. And then I just move on about my day.
Right.
But I
Well,
used to feel that way. I
yeah.
used to feel like, oh gosh, there's something wrong with me.
Yeah.
But I will never feel that
Right.
way ever again. You know,
That's
like
like
when you get to that point, you're just like, I
whatever.
feel
Yeah.
silly for feeling that way. And I
Yeah.
want to help other people not feel that way.
Right.
Oh, it's
Exactly.
going to be so cool.
Good. It's gonna be so good, guys. um, yeah,
Love this.
but I try to anyway. The way because sometimes I do think that I'm like, wow, what's wrong with me? But then
Oh,
I don't stay like fixed on that thought very long. But when
mhm.
I do, I flip it around and I think when I see people for the first time, my thought is never about that, like what
Mm-mm.
they look like. It's like, oh, that's
Sometimes you're
them,
just as
whatever.
shy as them, you know?
Right.
It's hard
Yeah.
to
Put yourself
it's
out
the
there.
social thing. Sometimes it's hard to talk to people, but
Breaking the ice. You got to break
breaking
the
the
ice.
ice. And the more you do it, the better you get at it.
Right.
The conversation comes easier. Things to talk about, it just comes more natural.
It
Like that's
does.
what I've
That's for me.
experienced. Just even going to the gym,
Yep.
it's
The
been
more
such a
people.
life changer, man. Anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah, never judge a book
Yeah.
by its cover and
Right.
talk to
Right.
anybody and everybody.
Yeah.
It doesn't
For sure.
matter. It doesn't
Yes.
matter.
Because
We
God
all,
loves us all.
my
God
nose.
loves all of us. He wants a relationship with all of us, and everybody, needs to feel good about themselves. Right? Or I don't even know what we
We've
were gonna
just
do.
been talking about everything. I wonder if
Yeah,
we
we're
should
all
just
over the place.
always, but that's
Yeah.
okay.
Well, one thing I was gonna say about, um, we're talking about how we shouldn't not talk to someone because of the way they look or how much money they have, where they're from, whatever. Um, the thing that God like kind of highlighted for me like a couple years ago, last time we went to Disney World, when
Mm-hmm.
we were on It's a Small World ride.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
it obviously that ride has all the different countries as you go through,
Mm-hmm.
that. And
Yep.
then at the very end, I don't know if you remember this, it's a room that's all white. Everybody's dressed in white and all the different nationalities are in there and they're all dressed in white. And I'm thinking,
Okay.
I never thought about it before, but that is like a picture of heaven.
Oh,
Like
true.
all of the different
I actually don't
nationalities.
remember that scene, but
Yeah, that's the very end before you go out.
I like
Um,
that though.
I was like, wow, that is pretty much what it's going to be like. And it never clicked for me before. And I'm just thinking, gosh, how many, and obviously my family didn't know that either until I pointed it out. I was
Yeah.
like, this has got to be like heaven. Like that's probably what they were thinking. They had to be,
Yeah. Every
because
shape, size, color,
yeah, every
gender.
nationality, every tongue, and that's in Revelation. It was talking about when it was describing heaven,
Did
or
you find the
I did. It was
okay verse?
Revelation. Hold on. It's Revelation 7:9,
Okay.
and it's talking about a great multitude from every nation. And John is the one that wrote Revelation 7. I mean, Revelation. It says, after this I looked, and behold, a great multitude that no one could number, from every nation, from all tribes and peoples and languages, standing before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed in white robes, with
Hmm.
palm branches in their hands, worshiping God, basically.
So I
Uh,
wonder if they did that for a
yeah,
biblical reason.
right. And it's funny because when you think of Disney,
You
back
don't
in the
think
day,
of
you would
God.
think Christian,
Mm-mm,
right?
mm-mm.
But that's, I mean, how can you
Yeah,
not?
but was Walt Disney like, was he a Christian? Was
I
he
have no
religious? Do
idea.
we know? I don't
I
know either.
I
Someone
don't
could look
know.
up.
He might not have been, but there were other people who influenced the rides and stuff like that. So maybe somebody else was, and he just put it in there thinking, "Oh, that's a good idea."
Yeah,
But there's like a biblical meaning
spin
behind it.
on it for sure.
Yeah. So
That's
that's
cool.
what it's going to be like, like it's interesting for sure. Like when we get to heaven, we're not just going to see a bunch of people like us. It's going to be everybody who believes in
Everybody.
Jesus. So, yeah, it's really
And
interesting.
there's not as many as there should be, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, do people really believe?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Exactly. They
You
might
know,
say it, but did the actions back
do
it
they
up?
actually, yeah, do they actually, do you really believe? Like,
Yeah.
I do, like with my whole heart.
Well, until next time. Bye.